Hey guys, thanks for having us at the Agents of I.N.U. So before I sort of take a deep dive, we'll just give you a very quick overview of what the platform looks like. So as you can see here, we've got a top tokens table. You can see a whole bunch of different tokens being displayed, currently being sorted by 24 hours. And the first time you enter the platform, you'll see a tour. So here's our tour. As you can see, you can switch between token presets, so top tokens. You can also select new tokens. That's a really quick way to get started with the platform. But we've also got an advanced filter section that lets you do a lot more filtering. You can filter by trades, volume, total liquidity. You can see the summary of the currently applied filters, and here you see the results. You can also sort by columns, a whole bunch of token information. You can paginate. I mean, you can go through the tour in your own time. You'll see that the first time you jump on the web app. Okay, so we'll dive a bit deeper into some of our other functionality. So by default, it's sorted by 24 hours. So you can see the tokens which have increased the most in the last 24 hours. You can also see activity. So the first column, we've actually got our issues, which is our rock checker of sorts. So it lets you look at the token. We analyze the contract and we try and identify certain issues within the contract. So in this case, we've identified potentially a hidden mint function allowing the owner to mint new tokens. More useful, I find, is our honeypot detector. So as you can see here, we've got icons. So every 5 minutes, we're actually checking the tokens to see their status. So if you can buy and sell, in this case, you can buy, you can sell. There's a 3% buy tax, a 2.7% sell tax, which is a really cool feature. Integrates very well into your workflow. So instead of having to go into a separate tool, you can do it all in Agent of I.N.U. So in this case, you can see Meta versus Elon is actually a honeypot, so you can buy the token, but you can't sell. Yeah, which is your classic honeypot, I guess. And then you've got Umami Swap, which isn't a honeypot, but it does have a 20% buy tax, 33% sell tax, so 53% round tax, which obviously is very high, and I think very carefully about buying into that token. It's possible in future to reduce that. It might just be high initially, but something to keep in mind. So we've also got the activity column. So that's showing you the activity in the last 24 hours, both buys and sells. You can actually change the filter period to display activity in the last 5 minutes, 1 hour, day, or week, and likewise for the volume column too. We've also got the live liquidity, 1 week price change, 24-hour price change, 1 hour price change, 5-minute price change. We've got a graph showing you the price of the token for the last hour. And then we've got some events that I'm sure some of you guys would be used to in other tools. So we show you ownership renounce events. We show you liquidity locks. That's being a bit annoying, but we show so liquidity lock with the liquidity provider. So in this case, 15% liquidity with the X sales, and in this case, it's 100% liquidity lock until January 29th with deep lock, which is really useful to quickly validate the safety of a token, I guess. And also ownership transfer events. So in this one, you can see that the ownership was renounced 6:05 p.m. our time. So if we do find the Twitter or Telegram links in the token, in the contract, we'll display them here. So for this one, Little Shiba Inu, you click on that, and you'll quickly, so you'll be able to see, obviously open it up in Telegram. 270 people online, 270 members, 89 online. Again, it's a really good way to validate whether there's an active community for that token. So you can paginate, look at different tokens as you like. And again, you'll notice that the interface is actually really snappy. So as you sort through different columns, it loads extremely quickly. So another approach you can do is, instead of sorting by, say, percentage change, you can sort by new tokens. So this way, if you are interested in aping into a new launch, you're able to do that really quickly, very quickly validate which ones are honeypots, avoid those, and then sort of focus on the green ones which aren't showing any issues as potential investment opportunities. And if you're like me, look, I'm actually quite sort of conservative in what I ape into. So I do like to only open to tokens that have had at least 100 trades and probably at least 5 or 10 BNB in liquidity. So I can set those as filters. I'm probably not interested in ones with extremely high liquidity. So I might say just show me ones between 5 and 100 BNB in liquidity. And yeah, like I can set volume filter, I can set creator that filters if I only want to see older tokens or newer tokens. But for me, this might be a filter that I play around with. So I just test these, see ones with high volume that haven't gone up too much, and I might invest in one of those. So that's pretty much it for where we are today. In terms of new features coming in, so you'll see here we've got some placeholders. So we'll be creating a dashboard. We'll be creating events, so just an easier way to keep track of liquidity events, ownership pre-announce, if that's something that you're interested in, and any other events that people that people might be interested in. And then a portfolio and watch list will be coming down. Will be coming down the track as well. As Imi mentioned earlier, we do support Chinese, so you can, if you do prefer Chinese, you can switch over to Chinese and use it use it that way. And in future, we will be supporting additional chains. So right now, it's only Binance Smart Chain. We haven't decided if Ethereum will be next or not. We're sort of toying with the idea of one of the other chains. But yeah, I mean that's essentially the platform in a nutshell.
Okay, that's very, very detail orientated, and I haven't really seen a platform like this before with all of those different options. I really like the honeypot option and the high tax option, and also I love the trend line that you have there. I like all of this actually. When did you guys start coming up with this idea? What was the catalyst?
Like I mentioned earlier, so it was probably about in June. So I come from a software engineering background and also a product background. So
Social engineering, did you say? Sorry?
Software engineering.
Oh, software.
So
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
a software developer. So in the real world, I've been involved with about probably 3 or 4 different startups at different stages. So both as an employee and also being involved as a co-founder. And I guess through that process, I've sort of learned how to build products that people enjoy. And for me, like this one was probably one of the easiest products I've built in the sense that I am the user. So everything I'm building here was designed to solve problems that I was having in the DeFi space, right? So things like I see a whole bunch of new tokens being released, but which ones are actually being traded? So I thought, okay, well, let's add in some volume and some activity columns and get a quick sense of that. So which ones have high liquidity, which ones have low liquidity? What's the price action been like over the last sort of day, hour, 24 hours? And also, obviously, graph is pretty self-explanatory in that seeing a trend of how a token's doing without having to go into a charting tool is just really useful. And by the way, we do there are quick links into both BSC Scan and KuCoin. If you do want to, sort of buy into a token or not. But yes, that was really the genesis. So then things like honeypots, came afterwards. As even though this information is still useful, you get sort of sucked into watch trading where the token creators just buying and selling, and you're seeing high activity, but it's hard to vet. Is it just one wallet address that's doing all the buying and selling? So having the honeypot there to rule out those ended up being a really important feature too. Yeah, so that's essentially how it started. So I guess I've been building it out for myself, and at some point it just it became obvious that there's a broader need for this product, and yeah, we decided to release it.
Well, that's incredible. And so you are the dev. This is your baby, and that's really encouraging that you, the one who made it, is here speaking to us right now. That's bullish for us. So I see here that it's mobile friendly as well. So all of this stuff can be seen on your mobile quite easily.
Yeah.
Now you just mentioned that you have a coin trending aspect of it. I can see that that's going to get really hot. How do you plan to market that to the greater BSC realm, and even to those trying to get into decentralized finance world that are maybe just getting started? Because I know that will be one of the catalysts, at least to me, for you guys really blowing up, will be to help people see what's trending right now at this moment, because there's a lot of day traders out there.
Yes, that's a really good question, and I guess the challenge that like you mentioned it earlier, it is quite a detailed tool. So it's that balance between creating a tool that's powerful enough for sort of sophisticated, for want of a better word, sophisticated traders in the DeFi space, as opposed to guys coming in new. And look, right now we've only got top tokens and new tokens in this custom filter, but the idea is we will be adding sort of other user sort of beginner friendly quick presets that will let you really hone in on something that's I guess trending, and that might be as simple as only show tokens that have had at least, let's say, 500 trades in the last 24 hours, right? And again, I'm just sort of spitballing here, but I mean, I guess these are sort of sensible defaults. So if it's got 500, it's got 50 being liquidity, it's done over 100 being volume. So something like that very quickly allows you to look at tokens which are I guess trending right now. So you can see some of these have had a amount of trade. So that's one. There still needs to be a bit of work put into how you expose that to new users. So make it really easy for a new user to sort of grab this information, because there is that risk they see this, they see a whole bunch of different columns, a whole bunch of different numbers, and it's intimidating, and they go away. So I guess part of it is some education, be it YouTube videos. AMAs are obviously a good channel. So we do have a blog that I do enjoy writing. So if you guys check out our blog, you'll see me dropping a few thoughts there, but also, blog posts about why you might want to consider a certain approach, and what are the different tactics that you can employ. Our dashboard will be an easier sort of entry point into the app. So we'll have very high level dashboards that might just show you the trending token name with activity only, like just a few columns that's relatively friendly to a newcomer, as opposed to this, which is, I guess, once you understand the space, it's an amazing tool, but until you get to that point, it might be a bit intimidating. And then, so I guess it's taking the learnings from from the real world as a sort of product engineer, and someone that understands product pretty well, and applying it to this space, and listening to users, getting user feedback, understanding what they like and don't like. So yeah, I mean, and that's sort of answering your direct question, but a broader question: how do we get this out there to the masses? So one thing that I'm actually really excited about is creating a dedicated token page, so that when you do click any of these tokens, it will take you to an overview page with more in-depth information. And then having that be something that ideally could be shared all over Telegram. So instead of people linking to any PooCoin, Honeypot or any of the other tools, my dream would be that people would be adding app.agentini.com/cowboy-player as part of the shield message, and that ends up becoming a tick of, okay, this token's meeting all the basic checks, it's trading well. So and to me, that's how you go from sort of where we are today to being one of a recognized player in the space, and that's the journey that we're on, I guess.
Amazing. Yeah, that would be very helpful. It'd be quite a bit of work for you guys to put that in. My question next will be, what will be the main driver, do you think, for the growth of your token? And the reason why I ask this is we've had quite a few, and I'm not trying to compare you to them, but I thought that needs to be considered. We've seen quite a few kind of like token tracker, portfolio, great utility projects come through here, and that's just always a question that I like to ask is that one. What will drive the growth of the chart? I see that you'll get lots of information here, but that doesn't always translate into a booming chart. So within that question, will you guys have maybe a tiered system for people who are getting in to give them different levels of information that they can receive, that will allow them to get into different areas of your chart that maybe will be able to be entered into by lower tiers, that sort of thing?
Absolutely. So that's definitely the plan, is to create a tiered system, and where you have to hold a certain number of tokens to get access to different aspects. Right now we are in free beta, so we are, like, I guess our aim at the moment is to try and get as many people across the platform as possible, get them to fall in love and spread the word. So that's our first job, and then after that point, we'd have to add in some sort of tiering system, I guess, to try and drive people to buy the token and get the token price up there. And look, I will say that like my vision is actually, and our vision as a team is actually quite big, right? So what I'm discussing here with you guys is, what are we doing around just this one aspect? I do have ideas, and I've built a whole range of different tools, um, even in the DeFi space for myself, over the past say 3 or 4 months. So this is the one that I've decided to start off with. But look, if we do get big, some of the other ideas I think people will really enjoy and take to. So look, this is just a starting point. We do have a really cool, like if you guys notice, our token is called the Agent of I.N.U. Our brand is called the Agents of I.N.U. So we are really thinking of this as a broad brand play as opposed to just a single token. We do plan to release other tokens under that banner on different chains, as Imran mentioned earlier. And Shiba being the first one, but there will be. I mean, our plan is to create more over time with with potentially different utilities, but that's something that we're still sort of assessing in the background. Our focus right now is obviously on just getting Agent Shiba and you flying, getting people to notice the utility of that token and what it gives you in this app. But yeah, I guess for us to for us to take the next step, it really is about becoming just another piece of the furniture in the DeFi space. So you've got in BSC, you've got things like PooCoin, block tools, DEX tools. I guess more broadly, as tools that people use in their everyday workflow. And yeah, our aim is to become one of those tools and incentivize people to buy our token through tiering.
Perfect. Thank you for that answer. So I think that you've well covered a lot of what the utility of your platform is, how it works. You've broken that down exceptionally well for us and walked us through it. So I think what would be good to do right now is open it up to question and answer period if you're okay with that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so what I'll do now is please, if you have a question from the voice chat or if you have questions from the main chat, go ahead and answer them or ask them now, and let's do that. Please don't be shy, by the way.
There is a giveaway for the best question if that entices anybody.
There is. We do have giveaways, guys. I hear someone. Mr. E.
Yeah.
Could you speak closer into your mic, please?
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me attach the mic.
Are you ready, Mr. E? There you are. Yes, please go ahead.
All right. I like that he built this project and that he really captivated. He explained in depth what he wanted to speak about. And I like persons that took that, the time to actually think about it in depth and implement it to this extent. So all I want to do is I want to see people like him constantly come out in the BSC space and continue to be pathfinders and innovators and try to make this space more profitable and safer for persons. So I'm happy for what you're doing and just saying keep up the good work. That's all. It's nothing else I want to add.
You have no questions, sir?
For once, I have no questions. For once, no.
I'll take that as a no, much appreciated. Yeah, thank you very much. We are trying to make a difference, and great.
Okay. Well, next question, please.
So, hi guys. I missed quite the beginning. So, a thing I have on my mind is what previous experience have you had in the BSC space?
Yes, it is actually the first token that we're launching. We've never, I guess, launched a token. My experience is in probably understanding the mechanics of how DeFi works. So I've gone extremely deep in understanding contracts, tokens, how liquidity pool works, and all that. So and sort of putting that into the utility here. But in terms of previous project launches, these our first project, and I mean I'm not so much one for launching a whole heap of projects. For me, it's about creating something that I really believe in, dedicating my time and effort into that, and building it into something great and long term. So my vision is long term. It's not about, obviously I've been building this for 4 or 5 months now, so it's I hope to be working on it for months and years to come potentially.
That's really nice. That's really nice. And is the actual token, is it integrated somehow on your platform? I mean, would you need the token for using the platform?
You don't today, but you will once we. So right now we're in beta. So during the beta, everyone can use the platform to its full extent. Probably in, I'd say at least 2 or 3 weeks away, because we are prioritizing getting more functionality in. But once we've got it to a point where we're really happy with, we'll add tiering in. So you'll need to hold the token to get access to advanced functionality. There'll always be a base level that's free for everybody, but we will stagger functionality based on your tiering.
Right, nice. Because it's. I mean, I love that you said that you're passionate about it. It's your project. You follow the vision. You follow your heart. It's not like you're doing it for the token to make it pump. Because but on the other hand, many investors they get in for the profit, and if the actual platform was not integrated with the token, you would have received daily those questions like when pump or when moon, So
yeah, and it's already been a bit of a challenge, I guess. It's like educating people that everyone's so used to tokens that just moon in 2 or 3 days a week and then just slowly die away. Whereas here we're trying to build something that's going to last, organic growth, grow a large user base. So I mean, you'll notice that if you do join our Telegram, we're not about the huge amount of hype, the pump and dump. It really is about, okay, guys, just use the platform, understand what we do. And if we get to a point where everybody's using the tool, it becomes part of the furniture in DeFi. I think that's when you have that real look at in growth, and you really will see a return on your investment.
Yeah, and that's the point to become mainstream. Because even though we can point some examples. For example, PooCoin, like they have the functionality of their token integrated on their platform, but we can see like the price of Poo being like 5 times lower than the all-time high. So it's really challenging sometimes. But yeah, what particular marketing plans do you have to make it mainstream, to reach those masses?
So like I said earlier, so I think the easiest way, it's really going to be spread by word of mouth, I think, primarily. So it's going to be people going into Telegrams and saying, hey, you guys are talking about token, I don't know, pump ETH as an example. Go to this page and see the information. Like Agent of I.N.U is saying, oh, it's a potential scam, it's this or that. So that becomes step one. Other ideas might be Telegram bots that just get the word out there. So you can add a Agent of I.N.U Telegram bot into your chat that shows you information about your token, gives users that confidence that it is legitimate. So that's, I guess, from a utility point of view, I think that's how I personally believe that's how we're going to spread. From a roadmap point of view, obviously we're doing a lot of marketing, probably not as much as sort of hype projects, because we are trying to build stable price growth. So I'll just share our roadmap on the screen. If you guys can see that, we'll show you an example of everything that we've done to date and everything that we're continuing to do. So on the left hand side, from a business and marketing point of view, we've done quite a bit. The team is stocks. We've completed our security audit. We've applied for CoinGecko. This is our second AMA. We've got a YouTube channel that we're adding to as we go. We've done TikTok, Twitter, Telegram marketing, and we've got a really active blog post and social media accounts too that if you guys want to follow. We're releasing a lot of features. So just in the last few days, we released the Chinese version of the app. We released our honeypot detector. I'm currently working on adding new liquidity providers, so we'll be integrating Pinklock and Withdraw Manager into the platform soon. We are looking at additional language support to get broader international appeal. A whole bunch of other stuff here. You guys can find this in our TG group. But in terms of marketing, yeah, our aim is to get onto CoinGecko, onto CoinMarketCap once we get the volume up a bit. Additional AMAs, additional callouts. We do have plans around our mascots and logos. So we've actually got a 3D designer working on recreating our mascot, and it's actually pretty cool. Hopefully we can share that in the weeks to come. And then yeah, so then longer term, I mean, if the brand gets to the point where we all hope it does, look, we might end up coming up with NFTs and things of that nature. So I guess, my answer would be join the Telegram, join our announcements channel, and keep up to date because there's a lot happening and we are moving very quickly.
Right. All right. Thank you very much.
No problem at all.
Thank you so much, Gucci. I gave you one of the airdrops. Next question, please.
Hi, RC.
Yes, please go ahead, Murphy.
Thanks, RC. So my question is, when you are doing a real-time integration, so I believe you are doing Kafka you are using as a technology, but my question is not on the this part. My question is, how the investor will get a real-time, trigger, whether they have to invest in this, whether this project is newly launched, or this is going to be rugged as a honey pot, or some kind of a real time of integration. So what's your real time of a dashboard planning?
Yes, that's a good question. So I guess right now, if you do want to see, I mean, it does. Yeah. So obviously you can look at the platform and see changes that are happening, right? So you can sort by creator that to see the new tokens that are being launched. In terms of sort of notifications, which I think is what you're asking, so it might be things like if you add a token to your watch list, you might get, and we don't have watch list in today, but we will shortly. So if you add to a watch list, you might get live notifications. So we started off as a sort of safe token, but it ends up becoming a honeypot over time, or the tax fees go up, whatever the case might be. You might get a notification in your browser saying, "Hey, something's changed with this token. Have a look." In terms of whether you should buy or not buy, I mean, as of today, it really is up to the user to consume the information, and we are presenting as much information as we can to make that choice. But it's really up to you to digest that information. Look at the Telegram, look at the activity in the Telegram if it does exist, and come to the decision: is this something that I want to invest in or not? Down the track we might do a bit more smart in terms of safety analysis, and I do have an AI background, so if I ever get the time, I might look at some sort of AI integration to try and have more smarts and ingest all the amount of data that we're collecting and see if we can come up with with some auto detector as to a likelihood of a rug or whatever. But look, I'm not making any promises that if that does happen, it will be months down the track. But look, yeah, there's a whole bunch of things we can do in that space.
Okay, and sorry, RC, you can cut me anytime. It's just
No, go ahead.
I'm
You're
just
good. Keep going, my friend.
yeah.
Thank you for saying
Yeah.
that, though.
Thank you. So my question is, I'm so curious to know this because when you say you are from software engineering background, so I understand you know the technology, right?
Mhm.
So my question is, when you say real-time integration, I'm still because this is something you are bringing very good features to a product. Real-time integration is something when you say this product is good to buy, not to good buy, right? Is you may or may not intimate to a customer, but are you going to publish same time the past history of the projects, like whatever they have done earlier, like if they have done something kind of fraud or maybe honeypot or something they have done, are you going to publish to your investor the past history of their old development?
Yeah, well, that's a really good question. We actually do today. And I'll see if I can find one. So if we have noticed that like and look, people are getting a bit smarter about it. So right now it's pretty basic. But if we do notice a particular creator has created tokens previously, and some of them just spam tokens every day or every few hours, so we'll actually inform you. And look, right now I can't find any of that. So we'll actually tell you how many projects
I
they've
have a
launched.
question.
Yeah, sorry, can I just finish off answering
Sir,
the previous?
yeah, please wait. We're just he's answering a question right now. You can ask next, please.
Look, I'm sorry, I can't find any right now, but you will notice that if you hover over the icon, there will be some that say, so this contract creator's created 20 tokens in the past, for example, and the tokens were only active for 4 hours. So that really quickly tells you, okay, this guy's churning out a token, we're going to get after a few hours and moving on to the next one. So in future, so things I've been thinking about are, well, can we expand that to look at tokens that have, wallets that have interacted with that contract creator? So if a creator has transferred tokens to another wallet, can we also expand the bubble, I guess, and consider them part of the same? You know what I mean? So it might be a token, it might be a different wallet that he's created and just trying to spoof the system. So that might be, you could start creating, and I guess if you understand terminology, it becomes almost like a graph database of wallets and following the links in the graph to try and identify who the root wallet is. And look, I'm getting pretty technical here, but there's what I'm trying to say, there's a lot we can do in this space. It's about progressively, building up the functionality to a point where making it really simple for users, even though it might be super technical on the back end. These are all different directions we can take the product in.
Okay, I got it. Over to you, RC, because another person was asking a question. So whenever you feel, just let me know. I can ask a few more questions. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe a little bit after. Let's let some other people go. Thank you. Those were wonderful questions, and I've given you an airdrop, sir. So please, next question.
I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
What's your marketing plan?
So I touched on this a bit earlier, but so so our marketing is organic growth, so getting people to share, their usage of the tool, getting the word out there, making it really easy to drop this in organically into Telegram chat. So instead of just dropping in a link, you'd post a link to a particular token where that gives you really detailed information. You'd have potentially a bot that you can include in your Telegram group, and that'll show you information about the token. Beyond that, we've been doing AMAs, we've been doing Telegram calls. I guess Telegram calls we're deciding are we actually getting value for our money? I know the market's quite, I guess it's not an amazing market at the moment, so we'll just reassess that. So everything we do collect data on. So if we make a call, we'll sort of, look at our volume and see is this a worthwhile approach or not. Beyond that, we do have an active social media, which we're sharing all our content on Twitter. So follow us on Twitter. We're pretty active. Follow us on our Medium blog. So I'll just pull that up quickly. So here's our Medium blog.
So fast, I can understand.
No worries. Sorry, I didn't catch that, but okay.
Sorry, could you repeat that, sir? I didn't understand what you said there. Whoever was asking the question, is he still here? And
I can understand.
Okay.
You can or you cannot?
He's talking too fast.
Sorry. Apologies. Yeah, I do tend to speak quite quickly. So like I said earlier, so AMAs, we'll do Telegram call outs, constant blog updates and social media posts. And yeah, so we're doing, yeah, I shared my roadmap earlier. I don't know if I've still got it open, but yeah, so do check this out. It's really detailed. You can find it on our Telegram. And yeah, it's got everything there you need to know, I think.
Thank you so much for your question, sir. Next question, please. I think that, let's see here. Oops. Alan wanted to ask a question.
Thank
Maybe
you.
he's muted. Alan, are you here? Or is he even in here? Oh, he's putting his hand up at the very bottom. Alan, go ahead and unmute yourself. You may ask the next question.
Hi. Yeah, okay. Abe, from what you said, the plan is to eventually deploy the tracker on some other networks as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Sorry. So I was wondering, are there any specific network differences that would make some of the BSC features that you already have in your app harder, or even, I don't know, maybe impossible to implement on some other networks like AVEX, for example? And like generally speaking, do you think there will be some kind of challenges of deploying the tracker on other networks, if there are any challenges?
That's a really good question. For the most part, I mean, obviously they are all, for the most part anyway, they're all ERC20 uni swap forks. So I'm going to say probably not. I mean, it just depends. There might be some functionality which isn't available on certain networks here. So things like we use BSC scans APIs for some of the data that we display. If there is no BSC scan equivalent on a different network, we might not be able to. The way it will work is it will be gradual regression, I guess. So we'll display as much of it as we can. If we have to remove a feature or function, we might do that. But I'd say for most networks, especially the larger ones like FTM, AVAX, Ethereum, there won't be any issues. It should just work pretty much identically.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you for your question, Mr. Allen. If you look at the chat, I gave you an airdrop. Please DM Squale with your wallet address, your BSC wallet address. Thank you. Next question, please.
Yes, I got a couple questions.
Yes, please, Mr. Dakota, sir, go ahead.
So I guess I'll start with an easy one. Do you have an estimate on how much you think you will be charging for the different tier levels when you get to that point?
Yeah, I'd love to say I do. Look, I mean, I guess it'll be our aim is to make it affordable, right? So it might be somewhere in the order of, and look, don't hold me to these, please, because I haven't, like, I've been sort of how to scout to just working on the product and everything else that I haven't really had time to think it through. But it might be somewhere in the region of $100 to get $100 to get your sort of premium, your initial tier, and it might be up to a few $100s to potentially $500, $600, maybe more to get to that advanced tier level. But again, look, me and Imi do have to sit down and really sort of think through the different tokenomics and what makes sense and what doesn't make sense.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and again, I'm not necessarily saying it is something I want to hold you to. I just want to make sure that I got enough of an initial investment here to cover myself. I'm a bit I've been an active user of the tool, and honestly, it's good to see you. Another question, and I think you sort of touched on it before about the wallet track. Is I guess, like, for me as a user, the tool is amazing for quickly finding stuff that looks like it's reasonably safe, and then I go into it, and that's where I'm finding most of my time now is spent. Like the tool has cut so much time out of the process of having to look through the code and try to figure out for honeypots and bug pulls and doing all that stuff manually. So now I'm spending most of my time trying to track down the developer wallets and looking for transactions that are done before the liquidity pools are started and stuff like that. So did you have kind of a plan to move into automating that route?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So I guess in terms, if I go back to our dashboard, in terms of the dashboard, I think we've squeezed every bit of functionality that we can here. I mean, it's already probably, if you speak to a UX designer, they'll probably already say there's too much going on here. It's too confusing. You need to cut it back. So that's why my focus has turned to dedicated token pages. So you'll be able to click into a token. And part of the analysis that I do want to do is look at buyer and seller distribution. So is it just the one wallet buying and selling, which a lot of tokens do, just to sort of trick you into buying? So things of that nature. So we'll reveal the creator wallet. We'll show you the top wallet holders for that token. And I guess again, our job is really to ease your workflow. So I really appreciate you sharing, your workflow. Even when you get a chance in Telegram, do drop in how you use, like what you do after you use the tool, because we want to be that A to Z. So right now, there's a certain point where you're getting stuck. Our next job is then how do we address that and give you the next level of information down to really make that assessment. So once you've vetted a token at a high level, you've said, okay, I might be interested in Meta Galaxy Land as an example. Well, those next questions that you're asking are the type of insights we want to surface to the users. So that will be, I guess, the next piece of work that we're tackling.
Very cool. And I guess, yeah, I was the one whining about wanting a colorblind version.
Yeah, yeah. So our other devs actually handling that aspect, and yeah, we've let him know. And so there are 2.5 of us that are working on this. So yeah, I'll definitely prompt him. Apologies for that.
No, I'm teasing you guys. No, it's like I said, it's fantastic for me to find something like this and jump in, and so it's very intuitive. Like it's very quick for people to pick up. So I definitely could see people who are new to the DeFi space should be getting their hands on something that's to at least give it a fighting chance. So thank you guys for doing what you're doing.
No, thank you very much.
Those were some wonderful questions, Mr. Dakota. If you look at the page, I gave you one of the airdrops, but because of your privacy settings, I was not able to put your name there. So if you just search through there, you'll see your name Dakota there, and you'll see Mr. Squalera's please send him your wallet, and you will get that drop. Thank you so much. Please, next question. And if you are muted, feel free to put your hand up and I will unmute you. Okay, let's go through and look at some of these chat questions here. That's usually how we do it in here. We give BC the priority and then we'll go to the chat. So I saw some good questions in here. Let me see if I can find it again. Here's one. It's from Bisky. It says, do you have alerts features? If so, can you give an explanation on the process of setting up token alerts? Will users of Agent Shiba be able to set up alerts for multiple tokens? Thank you, sir.
We don't have it today. It is something that and I touched on this a bit earlier, but it is something that that's how on our roadmap. So when we get to it, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, at some point I think we will be adding that in. And so I mean, it would be for multiple tokens. Yeah, but I haven't put a great deal of thought into it, but short answer, not today, maybe in future. And do keep the suggestions coming, by the way. Like I mean, that's really how we determine what we go after. So, feedback from the community asking us what they want to see, and yeah, we'll factor that in.
Okay, wonderful. All right, let's take a look here. There was some other good questions as well. If there's questions in the VC, once again, put your hand up or feel free to ask. And in the meantime, I'm going to look for another good question here. Someone said, why wasn't I told about this before launch? Let's see here. Oh, here's a great one from Killing B. It says, do the token holders have the right to participate in the governance of the project? And if so, what kind of decisions can they vote on? So I suppose she's asking if you're planning on having a DAO or that sort of thing in the future?
Yeah, I don't know how much I want to reveal just yet. Look, again, all these questions are contingent on the project being a success and people loving what we do. But one thing that me and Imi have been discussing is our plan is to come out with these different tokens. So Agent Shiba being one, but then having an Agent of I.N.U token potentially down the track being our governance token, and sort of being that brand token, if you will, with a bunch of other tokens on different chains that are supporting those particular chains. So yeah, I guess long story short, maybe our Agent of I.N.U will end up being that governance token, probably on Ethereum if we get to that point. But yeah, I mean, yeah, these are all sort of down the track. Right now, our focus really is on just building this product to a point where people love what we do, and use it every day.
I think Abe, I think he was asking if the community can have any governance on the project.
That as well, yes.
I mean, I'm definitely look in terms of I mean, Imi maybe you can have a go because I'm struggling to in terms of what we're doing today. I'm not entirely sure what that entails. But maybe you can have a go at answering that question.
I mean, like from a development point of view, the community doesn't always know the best thing for the project, right? I mean, like you have to take what the community wants and what is the best for the community and kind of like mesh it together and come up with something good. But I guess that could be something. We actually discussed it, didn't we, Abe? That we might have a little section and a web page down the track that we could have a list of features that the community could vote on or what they would like to have first, and then we can go from there. So yeah. I guess we would allow the community to participate in that type of governance. Yeah, I mean it'll be good. Essentially, we need your feedback to create a better platform for you. So for sure.
I mean, if that is the intent of the question, well, maybe some insights into how we build products is it absolutely is driven by feedback from the community. So you guys tell us what you would like to see, what you like and you dislike. We take all that information in. We think about, okay, so we're understanding what everyone's saying. What are the common threads here? How can we use it to improve the product? And then I mean that essentially drives what we prioritize. So as an example, personally, I didn't think Telegram links and Twitter links were that useful, but we had multiple people in the chat saying, hey, we're struggling to find Telegram links, we're struggling to find Twitter links, can you help there? So that same day I said, okay, cool, it's not that hard to implement or add in links or extract links from the contract and we'll add it in. So that's where the process of community driven feedback then sort of dictates what we go after. That makes sense.
Another interesting feedback we received, Abe, was the one where we had users ask if we could have a buy button in the app, and we never really considered it, but we've been asked a few times, so it's something that we could consider. So stuff like that, could contribute to the project.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So for us, yeah, I mean, whatever thought you have, no matter how crazy you might think they are, I mean, it's all very valuable feedback, and you might think something's a bit out there or something's a bit extreme, but I mean, I guess it's our job to try and make sense of what you're saying and factor it into the platform.
That buy button idea, that would be very helpful. Be a little bit of work for you guys, but that sounds like a great idea as well.
Yeah, it's one that Imi is very keen on, and I've pushed back a bit, but he's slowly starting to win me over. Yeah, I know it's a bit of work, but it's it's definitely doable. It's just where do you add it in? And look, yeah, okay. Now that you're also mentioning it too, I think Imi's case is getting a bit stronger by the day.
I got a big grin.
Yeah.
There's no end to the work, is there, gentlemen?
I've been up till 5 a.m. most nights, but at some point I've got to probably start looking after my health a bit better. But yeah, it's
I would agree with that, my friend.
It's an experience, yeah, that's for sure.
I'm in the same boat. That picture of Wojak with the black circles around his eyes, I think that encapsulates all of us right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course. Okay, we have another question here from Tom, and we'll have a couple more questions and then we'll close up. I think we've covered most stuff already.
Yeah, thank you. So actually, you've actually covered most of my questions, and I would just like to say good project you've got here. And but I would like to know where did you get the inspiration for the name of the project? How did you arrive to the name?
Yeah, so I guess initially the name was Trendify. So and look, you guys tell me if you think this is a good idea or not, because it is a very divisive topic. So initially we started off as Trendify, trying to be more of a, I guess, mature brand, if you will. But we got a lot of feedback from a lot of different people saying, look, no one's going to look at a token that's not hype themed. I guess we chose the name during the Shiba Inu hype. So I was just sort of talking. Well, Inu is a big thing. How do we incorporate Inu into the name? I was doing a bit of research and I came across Agents of Shield is obviously, we are trying to be, I guess, the defenders of DeFi, if you will. So I got drawn to the Agents of Shield brand, which is a brand of superheroes that, obviously defend the world, right? So I thought Agents of I.N.U would be a cool play on that, given that it is a sort of parent brand. And then you have our Agent Shiba Inu token being our first token released that falls underneath that brand. It lets us go down the path of NFTs if we wanted to, maybe games if we wanted to. I don't know if I'm keen on that or not, but I can probably be convinced. I think it's a really cool parent brand and it allows a lot. I guess the challenge that we've had is getting people to understand, hey, we are, even though it's a meme sort of name, we are a real project, we've got real utility, and we're actually a really, really accomplished team. So I guess that's been the challenge for us. Hope that answers your question.
Sure. It's not really a question, but I love it. I love the name. Thank you.
Thank you. I've given you the 9th airdrop, and we have one more airdrop, guys, for the best question. So next question, please. And we'll only be taking 1 or 2 more questions. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No worries.
My Telegram just decided to get. Sorry, did you guys get my answer to the last question? I'm not sure where I got cut off.
Yeah, you did. You answered the last question. I'm just waiting to see if there's another question, and if not, I'm going to go to the chat and choose one here. I see a lot of the questions in the chat actually have already been answered. So they can.
Question by MC. I can see it's an interesting question.
Oh.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yep. Go ahead, please.
He said, "This is a promising project. Could you tell me who you will be partnering with in the future to add more utility? Also, do you have plans to have banner adverts?"
Banner ads. Yes, I see that. Yeah. Okay, that will be the last question then. Please go ahead.
You can take this one, Amy. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, we've discussed this between Abe and myself that we could partner up with potential, for example, with Phoenix Holdings. If you guys potential partnership could be, every project you list could be vetted through us. So it'd be free for the token and it would be free marketing for us. That could just work with many other AMAs or many other utilities. I'm sure you guys do your own checks and bets, but it could be something that could be done through us, and that's what we aim to do down the future. Abe also, don't quote me to it, don't hold me to it, but it's something that one of the things we could do is offer audits for projects, down the track, something a bit more advanced, because Abe knows the ins and outs of all this, so it shouldn't be too hard for him. I'm adding more work to his bucket, but yeah.
I might end up staying up to 8 a.m. every day and getting half an hour of sleep. I know, definitely something that we're doing. Yeah, we're also speaking to a couple of different projects that have approached us. We've approached them discussing potential partnerships. I guess we can't, like, nothing to share at this stage because it is I guess it's trying to understand how we fit in. We've seen some interest from, I guess, launch pads and things of that nature. Like, can we incorporate part of what we do into them, or even expose our data to them so they can offer some sort of tracking functionality. Those are some of the things that we've discussed, but there's nothing concrete or material at the moment. And was there another part to this question, Amy? Was that, I can't remember the full question.
The whole banner. What was it? Banner ads. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin ads. You mean like stuff like that? Yeah, surely. It was actually one of our looking into it.
So we actually had another guy on the team that tried to release a Reddit ad yesterday, and we got rejected because you can't. I think Reddit, you need approval before you can do a crypto ad. But I've asked him to look at getting a KuCoin ad up and going, and we might just do a test, or like just a small KuCoin campaign. And again, like I said, everything we do, we try and test, or we might start off with a small campaign. If we see good traction, we'd expand that more broadly. I mean, that's sort of the way we operate.
Thank you for answering all of those questions. I think that should. I had got tagged with one more here.
I do have a question.
Oh, please go ahead, sir.
Thank you so much. And I joined late, so this might have been discussed, but yeah. And by the way, I remember you guys coming in Phoenix the other day and sharing the project before it launched. Yeah, man, and I'm glad to see you guys here now.
No, thank you. I do remember that. Yeah, I remember you responding to us. So thanks for that.
Yeah, we'll always appreciate hearing about new projects, man. So
Cool.
yeah, my question about the taxes here. So you have 4%, but on the website it only says dev. Is it for development or is it for the developer?
So we've actually got an 8% tax. So we've got 4% development / dev. So and then 4% marketing. At the moment, I've actually made it. It's all going into marketing right now. So it's the full 8% is going into marketing, just because we're trying to get volume up. We are putting that into it. So in future, yeah, there'll be a portion that's allocated to the dev team. So there's, I guess there's 3 sort of major contributors to the project who get a portion of that income, and the remainder will go to marketing. Where our cloud costs are actually starting to grow a bit. So I think we're paying about I don't know, if a few $100s a month, I guess, to host our services, and that's gonna. I mean, it will essentially scale for every chain we launch, and there'll be an additional $100 or $200 that it might cost us. So I mean, part of that will go to paying those costs, potentially buybacks, but I mean, yeah, it's all contingent on volume, I guess. So obviously, high volume taxes are very different to low volume. So low volume, we're just trying to maximize marketing and getting exposure out there. Once volume goes up a bit, we might actually reduce our taxes down from the 8%. Hope that answers your question. We do have a blog post on our tokenomics, by the way, if anyone wants to read it. So I'm big on transparency, so I've gone into sort of every aspect of it. So if you follow us or if you go to our Medium blog, agentsofinu.medium.com, we've got a really comprehensive blog post on all things tokenomics. And yeah, if you have any questions on any of that, feel free to hit me up on either via DM or in Telegram.
Thank you so much for answering my question. Yeah, we wish you all the best, man.
No
and
worries,
the chart is looking really bullish. You guys are holding the chart well. So yeah, I'm happy for you guys.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Remy, for that wonderful question, as always. I would have given you an airdrop, but unfortunately, all of them are gone now. But
No
you
worries,
deserve
man.
one, my friend.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, I think that we will close up. Did you say that you wanted to speak on the tokenomics, or did you, or they could just go to your site to see it?
Yeah, if they go to our blog, so if you join us on Telegram, there's a link to our blog, and yeah, we've got a really detailed blog post on our tokenomics. So yeah, you can check it out in your own time.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So then, with that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the excellent AMA. It was very detailed. I feel like I understand the inner workings of your project, where you've come from, where you're going, the marketing plans. The vision's really clear. So I just want to say well done for that, guys. And if you could please just give us a closing overview of your project, something that could keep it fresh in our minds so that we can continue to be bullish on it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, 100%. So look, we've given you as much detail as we can. I guess in closing, our vision is really to become part of the furniture in DeFi. So it's a tool that you guys use every single day as part of your approach in vetting new projects, looking for older projects, whatever the case might be. On the back of that, we'll obviously introduce tiering systems, but we do hope to grow and encompass, that one-stop shop, if you will, of DeFi trading, where you can see all there is to know about a token. Imi, if you have any closing words, feel free to go ahead.
From a Jeep point of view, I guess we're only at 330 market cap. It's an absolute gem at this price. You won't find a utility. You won't find us this cheap for long, to be honest. Once this, because we're going through a rough patch right now with the market. Once this market picks up, I really believe that this project will pick up, and a lot of our investors believe the same thing. So they're holding on. So join us, guys. You're still early.
Thank you so much, guys. Like I said, I don't know how I can praise you guys much more. I thought it was one of the best AMAs, most easily understandable and well explained. So with that, we'll bid you adieu, and thank you again so much for coming and bringing this wonderful project to us. And we wish you all of the best in all of your endeavors in the future.